Boom, baby. Yeah. Alright. Hello. Welcome. My name is Armorlight. I do appreciate your time here. Alright. Gotta do our routine quick. We're here real quick. Let me turn all this down though. Okay. We'll just go ahead and check into that. And now we should be able to go. I know this is just straight up streamer awesomeness right now. Okay. I'm still a noob at all this, so I do apologize. But gotta get the thumbnail up and running and all that good stuff. Well, looky there. Already. Boom. Let's go to it. And we will... I'm so glad I changed that banner. Oh my god. Alright. Woo! What I really need to do is get on here and figure out how to get the be able to do scheduling, so it would be so much easier to do all this. So, but the last time I had issues with that, it would just, the whole damn thing would just come tumbling down. So just bear with me. Not sure if anybody knows, I did fix the thumbnail or the description for if you're wanting to get into my Discord, then the link should be working at this point. So do feel free to join into my Discord if you're new. And set this in my playlist. Done. I really don't know if these tags actually work, but screw it, we're going to try it anyways. And tonight's topic is the D.C.V dilemma that people are having. Probably not really seeing it unless if you go on Twitter, then yeah, you're gonna see all of it, and we're going to discuss it tonight. So, got that saved. And there you go. Should be all good in the hood at this point. All right. And I'll probably check on that here in a little bit. Okay. And finally, just in case, I want to go ahead and get my stage set up. Yep. I am very slow. Oh my god. Why? Okay. So now I have the stage. So if you decide that you want to go ahead and come into the Discord and I guess kind of poke around a little bit. Of course, there's not a whole lot going on, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So anyways, I figure we discussed a little bit about the whole D.C.V topic. And I was trying to figure out how I actually wanted to go about this. If I actually wanted to, I didn't want to come off too strong or anything like that. But, So anyways, when it comes, this is only my opinion. I speak for no one. It's just me, the way I look at things. So that being said, if you want to criticize it, feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section, or you know, you can hop into the Discord and maybe we can discuss it. Now, if you're seeing this for the first time, because I'm going to assume that each video or each stream that is posted, it's somebody's first. So you never know. I don't want to sit here and just assume that every single person that has, you know, come by, you know, has already seen a lot of my streams. So I guess to start off, we'll talk about what is the LootCave. The LootCave is my podcast that I put together, and where I wanted to find ways to bring the community together. So and one of the ways that I would like to do that is we're going to have call-ins. So while we're sitting here with call-ins, we're going to have people with different perspectives, and we're not just listening in on all the people that are, you know, just streamers, and actually work with the community, not just be another talking head of the community. So that's my position on it, and there's going to be much more later on down the line that I'll come up with, but for now, this is just to get the ball rolling. And in order to participate in the call-ins, you would have to join my Discord, which link is in the description, and there is a leveling system. So when you level up by, you know, basically just chatting, maybe you know, we'll come up with some ways to make it more worth everybody's while, I guess, later on down the line, once I start pulling people in, to, you know, give the incentive to actually, you know, level up. That's one of my ways. So I guess to explain it a little bit better, in order for you to call in, you have to be at a certain level, and this protects the stream at as much as possible, so that you don't get people that just hop in on an account, or like, you know, an alt account, and be like, yo, and say a bunch of shit. You know, a bunch of dumbass shit, just so they can ruin the vibe or ruin the show. Because I got a feeling that that's gonna happen. People are gonna try to do that, obviously. So that's a way to be able to keep that from happening. So because I'll keep an eye on that, people chatting, you know, I can kind of get a vibe out of somebody, start recognizing names, and then bring you in. Like, you can come into my Discord when I'm hosting a show, and I haven't really fully decided which rank, but I think we're going to go with, let's just kind of, I guess, show it off a little bit here, because like I said, it's every video could possibly be somebody's first video that they come across. So let's see, I guess we can show it off a glory rank. You probably, I hope you can see this, but you got new light guardian 1 2 3, and then brave 1 2 3, heroic, so on and so forth. So probably is going to be brave 1. That would be about the amount of time I can kind of get an idea what kind of person you are once you get to brave 1, and you know where we can, you know, start accepting the call-ins so you can call in. Now, yes, there are those who either I've known directly, or you know, I played with them, they're in my clan or whatever. Of course I'm going to, you know, go ahead and bring them in because I know them. But just some Joe Schmo that I don't know is a little iffy. So, and I'm only one person, so that's how it's going to have to be. So we'll just come back to this, and we'll go back so you can see my beautiful face. I guess we'll go ahead and, you know, start discussing about the whole D.C.V. No, not waste too much more time on it. Come Witch Queen, Forsaken is going to be gone. The story mode, or the campaign, I should say. And once it's gone, it, you know, the story on it's gone. You know, we got what we needed out of it, and it's no longer relevant. But also, the Tangled Shore is going to be gone as well. And I'm seeing a lot of people that are upset about this because they think, oh, I paid for this, so it should stay. So that's just a very oversimplification of what people are saying. Just kind of throwing everybody together and then kind of giving a brief description if you don't already know. So people are upset because that's going away. But my only argument would be is for Forsaken, yes, we paid for it and now it's gone, but it's no longer relevant. The campaign, it's no longer relevant. It's been out for 3 years. Came out September 4th of 2018. It's been out this whole time. So I really don't see much of a problem with them wanting to vault it. And then Tangled Shore, well, of course. And people make it out to be, oh, well, I paid for this. You didn't pay for the Tangled Shore. Okay? And I can prove it. Very, very easy. Just like you didn't pay for Europa when we bought Beyond Light. Okay? So let's take a moment and we're going to narrow it down. You paid for Forsaken when it came out as the DLC. You paid for the content, the location, which was the Tangled Shore, and it also came with the Dreaming City. You didn't pay for those specifically. And the reason why that I could tell you this is because even if you did not pay for Forsaken, you could still access those locations for free. Now, at the time, obviously, we didn't have the whole new light experience thing, you know, where basically it was free to enter, but the content, like DLCs, in-game content, is what you had to pay for. But you can still play quite a bit of the game for free. Now, yes, there's back and forth with the whole, well, if it's a free game or not. Really, I don't care. To be honest, I really don't. and people arguing about it. It's like you're just wasting your time. So, but when it comes to, but for the best example would be Europa. Europa wasn't, it was, you could still access it for free, but you still had to pay for it beyond light. So technically you're not paying for those locations because they're putting them in for free. So Professor, I see you in chat. Well, not really chat, but in my audience. Hope you're doing well. Let me rant and then I'll bring you in. Already raising the hand. All right, give me a second there, bud. Anyways, so people are upset about that, and I just don't see why they're like, because Forsaken is irrelevant. Irrelevant at this point because it's been out for 3 years, like I said, and it's not like we're continuously going back to play the game, you know, playing that campaign over and over and over again, and all of a sudden, oh, they're taking it away from us, you know. And a lot of these people I find hilariously, like, they think they know what they're talking about, but half of them really don't. They just go off of whatever is hot topic at the moment. Not only is the whole D.C.V an issue, there's also the whole bounty dispute. You know, oh my god, people can't hoard their bounties. So what? Jesus Christ, people just want to try to get, you know, the upper edge to be able to get as far forward at the drop of the new DLC. So, but hey, you know, to each its own, I guess. But really, those are basically just my opinions. I don't speak for nobody else. This is just me. And honestly, I would be more interested to hear what you gotta say. I would be more interested for you to get into my comment section, come into my Discord, and maybe we could discuss it. Whatever. I would actually be more interested in what you think. So, that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get my boy up in here, if he's still listening. Invite to speak. And oh my. What's good with you, bruh?
I mean, it's chilling, man. I just got the notification that you went live through Discord.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know Discord would even do that, but apparently it does.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it sent me a notification that you went live though, and then I checked YouTube, and yep, you were live. I was like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. I wasn't sure if they actually pushed out a notification for that, so.
I heard some of what you were talking about, and I'm gonna come play devil's advocate for a second.
Awesome, good. Yeah, go for it. Like I mean, like I was saying, bro, like it's my opinion, my point of view, and I speak for no one else but myself. But I would be more interested to hear what other people think.
Some devil's advocate and throw, you know, some logic at you and see how well your brain comprehends it. Okay.
All right.
I see what you're saying about the Destiny content vault and about how a lot of people are mad about it. I can understand some of that. Some of that. I understand it because, like, yeah, Forsaken, I paid like $80 or $90 for that DLC, man.
Right.
And so for them to take, you know, a lot of that content out, some of it I'm glad to see go. Please, Last Wish, take it out. I want to just buy my 1K from the tower.
Right.
I'm tired of grinding for that weapon. I just want my 1K. I want to buy it at the tower. You can take that raid anytime you want it. But like I did pay like $80-$90 for that DLC, you know?
Right.
but I would also consider it as like I've gotten my 60 or 80 $90, whatever it was that I spent for it. I don't remember what it even went for.
Right.
I've got that money out of that game because, dude, even if I only spent $60 on it, I spent $60 on the newest God of War. Not the one getting ready to come out, but the one that came out in like 2018. I spent like $60 on that game, and I got my $60 out of that game after like 20 hours of play. With Destiny, the $60-$80 that I spent on Forsaken, I got that money out considering I've played how many hours of that content?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think like how many hours have you put into that?
Forsaken? Like, there was a lot of time that I put into that. I'd see it as I got my, 60 or $80 out of it.
Right. So
like, I understand people getting mad because like that's content they paid for,
Right.
I get that argument of it, but I'd say we've got our playtime out of it, man. Unless you only play like 2 hours a week, but even then, like.
Well, okay. Like I could see if someone's making the argument, like, like what we're experiencing now, like whenever you bring in somebody new, like somebody who's never, like I'm actually bringing my son in to play in the game. And he's actually going to start, I believe next weekend. We're going to actually dive in, and he wants to be a Titan for some weird reason. But that besides the fact,
more Titans, we could use more Warlocks, man.
Yeah, well, he wants to be a big boy, so he wants to be a tank, so that's what he wants. But
show him Nerf Nova Warp. Show him and be like, man, be a Warlock. You can tank it the fuck up.
Yeah. But anyways, I could see like the argument when it comes to like somebody like my son, who's just starting out and he never got to experience Red War, or now it's going to once Beyond Light or when. Yeah,
Osiris, no war.
Yeah, I know. And whenever Witch Queen drops, Forsaken, he's not going to get to. Well, he's going to get to experience Forsaken, but once he's through it, that's it.
You could run him through Forsaken in like a couple hours.
Right, but at the same time, it's like, okay. I mean, the build up to that narrative, he's not going to have the same exact experience like what we did. We played D1 and, moving on through.
I didn't play D1.
Well, right, but like, the beginning of D2 for the sake of argument.
I think I started playing Destiny at a really good time because I started playing about midway through Warmind, and so I got to play all of Red War, and I got to play all of Curse of Osiris, and I got to play all of Warmind, and then like shortly after that Forsaken dropped.
Right.
And so I have, I don't have the whole narrative of D1 to go off to, but I'm a fucking lore nerd, so I know a lot of the lore about Destiny, and I'm a nice little fun fact dude. I just have little fun facts from the lore all over the place in my brain. So I know quite a bit of the lore, but I never got the experience of playing Destiny 1 or, grinding any of those missions or raids or anything. So I don't get that, like, I don't get the full thing. But I started early enough in Destiny 2 that, like, I've got the full narrative this time around.
Right.
And so it sucks. It does suck bringing new people in, and so like Red War's not a thing.
Yeah, they never got to experience it. Yeah,
they didn't get to experience. Dude, biggest loss for the community, Cade. Man, none of the new players are ever gonna know who Cade was.
No, not at all.
There's never gonna be another Cade 6. It's never.
I would say like the missing out part and everything, but we also have to think who is Bungie like who are they making the game for? Are they trying to make the game specifically to bring new players in, or are they making the game for those who are already playing the game? Who's the player base?
So instead of thinking about it as Destiny, as a first-person shooter, right?
Right.
Think of Destiny if it was World of Warcraft. Does that make sense?
Never played it, so no.
So all right, so like World
Educate
of Warcraft, you know, an MMORPG. Today, you could go and you could jump into World of Warcraft, and you're not gonna play like, oh gee, like release a World of Warcraft missions. It's never gonna happen.
Right.
But you get a good enough intro into the current story, and you know, you get a good enough tutorial that you can, you know, get a slight mastery of the mechanics of the game, you know.
Right.
And you can pick up anywhere, like wherever the story is like at the time, you know. And you can get the DLC and play through the story and get access to, you know, the in-game content and the raids and stuff that you get to do.
Right.
And I think that's what Bungie is gearing more towards. Not they want the story of Destiny to be more fluid than it has in the past. Where you can pick up, you know, make it one of those stories that you can pick the story up at any part and still enjoy it.
Right.
But that seems like more the kind of game they're gearing towards, you know? If you think about, if instead of thinking about the season pass as a season pass, and think of it as like a yearly subscription, right?
Well, it's not, it doesn't even feel like that season pass. Because each story like ramps up to the next and then up to the next DLC. It's a whole story driven.
Yeah, you get a year worth of story for $80.
Right.
What? So if you think about it as like a yearly subscription, like that's all it is, you know? You're paying for the next story.
Right.
The old story, you know, 2, 3, 4 stories ago, that doesn't matter anymore. This is the current part of the story. And, you know, that's what the focus should be on. And I think that's what they're trying to do, you know? And I think with trying to do that, it's going to come to some very big changes. You know, the helm is one step in the kind of direction that I think they're going to take it.
Right.
You know, the helm is a really cool, you know,
I like the concept.
Multiplayer area, and you know, it houses all of the activities that are relevant to the season, more or less, you know? And
they're able to hold, like, we get to hold on to that season for the entire year. So like whatever the season's going to be, the season of the redacted, I guess we could say for right now, whenever Witch Queen drops, you know, that's going to remain that first season, and among the other 3 are going to remain with us all the way through until the very next DLC. And I think that's a really good concept. Now, I would also like, you know, to give some feedback. I think it would be kind of cool if, you know, Bungie made it so that people could play those battle passes. They could have those battle passes that they missed out on, you know, or have it available so you could still play those as along with the newer ones.
There's not a good way for them to do that, though. There's not a good way to implement it, because it would, you got to keep in mind that with those, there's so many things tied in to a season pass, you know, that affects other parts of your game, that, because like you have all the little passive bonuses and stuff you get, like the little XP boost and everything through it.
Right.
they would have to, you know, replace those with just like small glimmer caches or something, and it would be a whole thing for them. And it's easier for them to just take the necessary components, the weapons, the cosmetics, the ship and the sparrow, right? Take those out and either tie them to a new activity or put them in the Bright Dust shop. That's the easiest way for them to do it, and it's a profitable way for them to do it because, you know, those cosmetics and stuff, there's people that'll pay money for it.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, and I find it kind of funny because
I think they're handling that in the best kind of way that they can.
Well, I really like how, you know, Bungie has done with their cash shop. You like when I was before, like when they had the like the loot system, like loot boxes and shit, I fucking hated that shit. Like because I seen it come into like mobile games, and I was like, man, they're probably gonna start putting that shit in like, and you know, console games, PC games, and shit like that. You know, microtransactions and shit. And I'm just like, but now it's like, you know, really, you know, Bungie's cash shop is really not that bad, and especially where a lot of that like the emotes and stuff like that, you don't buy any weapons, so it's not pay to win or anything. Can't buy it, it's just cosmetic shit.
Don't affect your weapon stats anymore, you know.
Right, but at the same time, it's not like but we also have you know, some of those cosmetics will actually go into rotation, so you can actually buy them with like in-game currency. So
yeah.
You know what the Bright does, you know, a lot of the emotes and stuff like that, which I find really cool. And the fact that, you know, people want to complain about it, it's like, you don't have to pay for it. Yeah, and it's not like every time you boot up, that's the first thing you see as soon as you pop in. You know, like I've seen like some cash shops that would just pop up all the damn time trying to get you to buy stuff, and it's just it's there, but you don't have to use it. You don't have to spend a dime on it. But I think it's a good way. Like, hey, you know, if you want to support, you know, the gaming developers, you know, those who are working on the game, you know, spend a little bit, spend $20 here and there. What's the problem?
And Bungie's made it clear that they don't need that money to like. It's no microtransactions aren't keeping the lights on.
Oh, I highly doubt that they're keeping the lights on. I mean, I don't even think the whales are spending that kind of money in the cash shop to keep the lights on. That's for sure.
But no, Bungie said that it helps because it was the Whisper ornaments.
Right.
The sale of the Whisper ornaments did like it paid for the entire Outbreak dungeon, which that's not in the game anymore. But
right.
New people aren't going to get that one, but like the Whisper ornaments, how the money they made off of that paid for the entire Outbreak dungeon on its own.
Right.
Like it makes a difference for them. It really does. You know, it's the more money that we spend on their game, the better their game is going to be in the future.
Well, let me kind of give this perspective for not just us, but anybody that ends up watching this. This would be my question. What would Destiny look like if they just literally didn't have the D.C.V existence? Like, they did everything that they put in except seasonal content.
You know what
they
would look
like everything, like all the activities, like the DLCs. What would Destiny look like then?
Do you know what it would look like?
Yeah, I do.
It would look like an unmanageable UI. The user interface would be just zoinked, Scoobs.
Yeah. It would be a freaking mess.
It would be horrible. But
yeah.
It would also be just an unreasonably large file size.
And to think how well would the game run? You would have crashes all the time, you know. And people always try to look at like Final Fantasy 14 and other MMOs that stack on their content that they don't do this.
There's a difference there. those games actually compress their files.
Right.
Destiny has a near zero file compression. They don't compress their files like barely at all, and that's because they used to be run by Activision.
Right. But at the same time, it's like, why keep irrelevant content? You know, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, Forsaken has been out for 3 years. For 3 years, we got what we needed out of it. I got my money's worth. All right. And there's still going to be, you know, remnants of Forsaken left behind. Like, we're still going to keep Dreaming City. The Dreaming City is still going to. The weapons are not going away. Now, they did say.
Dreaming City is not something that's ever. It's not going to go away for a long time, anyways.
And if it does, it has to do something with the story.
That's a story they started and haven't finished yet. So.
Right. And I think people are having a hard time looking beyond. I mean, most of these people are bitching about it. It's the same people that were freaking out over the whole Nerf slide, you know, or the slide Nerf shut. I'm sorry. And it's like,
there was a slide Nerf?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, there was a slide Nerf, and everybody blew the fuck up over that. What I noticed is that a lot of people.
What did they change on the slide?
Basically increase flinch and I believe
so you people while you're sliding.
Basically, yeah, it makes it a little more of a struggle. Like, you actually have to show some skill, you know. So, yeah. And I'm like, really? Like, and once you get into Crucible and try it out, it's like, I really don't see much of a difference. I mean, the difference would have to be so minute that it's like, I don't feel different. And plus, I mean, I'm not the typical hunter that slides around and shotguns everybody either.
Oh, no, you just jump around with your bow hand cannon combo?
You damn right. I've been trying to practice more on keeping my feet on the ground, my ad, but yeah. Not a whole lot of the whole, you know, flying around with a bow, which is actually kind of cool. Especially when you get that jump shot, you know, it's like, yeah.
I haven't had a good time on my Warlock in PvP in a long time.
Well, that's because you haven't had me around taking all your kills.
No, man, it's because after they nerfed Burst Glide, and like, I understand to an extent why they nerfed the Burst Glide, but it still sucks. It's still horrible to try to deal with.
Right.
You know, when you can play as a hunter and press one button twice and then immediately hit the ceiling if you're wearing stompies, that just doesn't compare to having literally zero mobility unless you run top tree Dawnblade.
Right. Well, we're also going to be seeing a lot of changes when it comes to the subclasses come Witch Queen as well.
True.
They're like revamping them. So really, like, yeah, it may suck now. It may suck now, but you know, later on down the line, you never know.
Nova. That's all I need. Give me Lance Nova. That's all I need.
Now, let me ask you something.
Yes, maybe.
When it comes to when Witch Queen drops are going to have weapon crafting, what's your position on that?
We already have weapon crafting. I mean, sort of.
No, this is going to be more fine-tuned to how you want.
I mean, obviously, they're not going to make it crazy. They're not going to put, like... There's going to be god rolls for the weapons that you're able to actually craft like that, but they're either going to do it one of two ways. They're going to make it something that you can't get just super cracked weapons through doing, but they're a lot easier to get, like, the components and stuff for, or they're going to make it super hard and super RNG to get the components to build the guns, but make it where you can make the guns super cracked. That's the two ways they can go with it. There's no real middle ground on it. it's either going to be super easy to craft the guns and you just can't get like absolutely god tier rolls on them,
or it would be like it would take out the RNG so that you can actually craft the god roll that you want.
Maybe, but I mean,
I know it's hard to speculate on it now, but
a lot of the perks on guns have been toned back a lot. Like Rampage isn't as good as it used to be.
no, that's true.
Only Huckleberry's the only thing with OG Rampage still.
Right.
But it kicks like a mule, so no reason to even use that on a mouse.
It's not like we have breakneck anymore.
I mean, it's there.
Yeah, it's there. You can still pull it out, but I mean,
it doesn't work in any high-end activities. But
no.
like Rampage, Killing Tally even got toned back. Or no, Killing Tally's pretty solid, I'm pretty sure.
But there was only like one weapon with Killing Tally, and that was the 21%. Yeah, but you can't even use that weapon anymore.
21% and something else. There was one other one that got it. It was a random roll one that I don't remember. There was another one that got it though. But like Killing Tally's still super good, but you can't use the weapon. Like they're not gonna bring any of those like super cracked perks back. And even the regular perks, like they nerfed Outlaw a while back. I know that.
Yeah.
Because like Outlaw works like Feeding Frenzy does now, where you get stacks of it, and the higher your stacks are, the faster you reload.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess I never noticed that.
Yep.
I got the IS Luna that's got Outlaw and Kill Clip. I guess I should check it out.
It goes up to like three stacks, but like one, I'm pretty sure anyways. I might have misread something.
But that would be kind of, well, I would rather have Feeding Frenzy then, because then I don't have to sit there and have headshots. Like,
true. That's like Recluse is like if you pull out a Recluse out of your collections, it's still a really good weapon for like just killing ads in PvE, man. Like in low-end PvE stuff where you don't need top tier weapons, like it's still a really good gun.
Yeah, I bet.
Even though Feeding Frenzy and Master Arms both got nerfed, it's not something that would be super cracked in PvP. I think that, you know, some of those perks they could start to bring back a little bit, but they're not going to.
No. Well, and I would also think that they're also going to add, I think the weapon crafting, they're actually going to be able to add like new different perks, like, you know, different roles.
Add a ton of perks. If they're going to do weapon crafting like that, where it's super customizable on your weapon, they're going to add a ton of new perks.
Right. Yeah.
But in order to do that, I honestly foresee them bringing back an area from D1 for next DLC. Just revamping an area from D1 so they don't have to build a completely new area. I can see it happening.
Like if they wanted to bring back like Venus, right?
I was thinking more like the Dreadnought.
Oh, you're thinking smaller then. Okay.
I was thinking like
well, weren't they talking about having the Dreadnought come back? Or like there's rumors of that?
I've said it for a long time, ever since I heard about Witchwing. I've said probably the Dreadnought, man. Because
I probably shouldn't even ask that question.
We already know what is it? Crota's coming back,
right? Yeah.
We're getting a Crota. We're getting Crota's end back, right?
Right.
So we're getting Crota's end back. I bet you they end up bringing back not exactly the Oryx raid, King's Fall. It's not going to be exactly King's Fall, but I bet you anything we're going to have to fight Savathun, and it's going to be pretty similar.
like kind of the same mechanics but just different boss. You would think
Similar encounters or mechanics. It's either going to be similar encounters or similar mechanics, but the boss fight's going to be totally different. The boss fight's just going to be Savathun instead of Oryx, and they're going to have different mechanics for that. But I'm almost willing to bet that it might take place on the Dreadnought, man.
Oof. I love the Dreadnought in D1, dude.
Location for them to bring back though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of time on the Dreadnought, dude. It was crazy.
Like,
I think we all did, really.
That'd be super cool, man.
Fuck yeah, I would. I would love, and I mean, Jesus, and they can add like little Easter eggs and shit. Oh man.
If they bring back a D1 location, if the weapon crafting system is as in depth as they're saying, and they're spending all these extra resources on revamping the light classes and stuff, Dreadnought would be the easiest thing for them to do, man.
Most likely, yeah. But I guess we won't know until like later, you know? Like,
because like literally all they have to do, right, is they set the Dreadnought out in space, right? So the entire skybox is just generic Bungie space.
Yeah.
You know, just stars and BS. Like that's all it would be in the background. That's what the whole skybox would be. And then they would just have to revamp the graphics and stuff on the Dreadnought. It wouldn't be that hard for them to do. It'd be a lot easier than doing like an entire planet.
True.
I don't know. That's my guess. I think if they bring back,
that's if they're like doing a completely new planet though, like something completely different.
Is that what they've been talking about?
Because they were talking, like, from how I understand it, when I read up about the whole D.C.V ordeal, was that they actually put content or locations and stuff like that into the vault from D1 and
they
D2.
Should give us the other half of Mercury back.
Right, yeah. Just give us the other half of Mercury.
They should give us the other half of Mercury back. They add it to the destinations, and it just says half of Mercury.
Right.
Oh,
well,
man.
I don't know. Like, I am pretty excited to see what comes next. But, you know, I kind of wanted to take a moment to kind of go over the this little rabbit hole I stumbled across here on Twitter. And basically, okay, they're basically stating that with the start of year 5 on February 22nd, 2022, certain items will be depreciated from player inventories that correspond with vaulted destinations, activities, and campaigns, and moved to the D.C.V. And then they show a list, and it says all bounties, missions, quests from the Tangled Shore, Forsaken campaign, Season of the Hunt, Chosen, Splicer, and Lost. So basically, all your bounties that you're doing right now, like for Splicer and Lost, you can't hoard those because they're going to take them away. And I
don't see an issue with that. I see zero issue with that.
And it says all ritual and pinnacle weapon quests and ornaments, and Bell of Conquest would be the last thing. So this person tweeted out asking, I think the wording on this might need a bit of clarification, as it can be interpreted two ways. It is all bounties that could have been acquired in those seasons, like Iron Banner, or only bounties directly related to those seasons content. Servitor bounties, I guess, for example. But DMG, you know, he replied, just turn in your bounties. And this other individual says, I don't even save bounties though. More asking just because I keep seeing arguments about the wording on Twitter/Discord and was hoping for some clarity to settle them. I mean, I would have to say that's pretty clear on what is stated.
I'm pretty sure
We already know what bounties they actually delete from us from prior seasons, right? Like
listen,
that. What
listen, the people asking those questions, the only people asking those questions are the people that hoard bounties to turn them in at the beginning of the next season, man.
Oh, I know.
I know a guy on Twitter. I'm following a guy on Twitter. This most recent season, you know how long it took him to get the entire season pass done from zero without hoarding any bounties?
Right.
1 week.
Damn.
If one man can get all 100 levels of the battle pass done in 1 week without hoarding bounties, you don't need to hoard your bounties, man.
Well, a lot of what I've seen the arguments for, like the reason why they hoard the bounties is because the leveling system is shit in Destiny, and it's like, is it though? I don't see that it's really that. If people try to see, I find myself doing it sometimes, like when I'm trying to rank up Xur, you know, trying to get to 16 with the 30th anniversary. I'm trying to get to 16. Well, if I focus in on that and just grind and grind and grind because I want to get to the end result, well, of course, yeah, that's going to be like, oh, this is a drag and it's taking forever and the leveling system is shit. But the way I see it is, if I pace myself, you know, do a couple, you know, just let it exceed its duration. It's supposed the whole 30th anniversary is here until Witch Queen, which is in another 2 months.
You know what the issue is. You know what the issue is. It's an issue with the Destiny community that has been around since Forsaken dropped, man. It's the most vocal and the loudest part of the Destiny community is the whiny, bitchy part of the Destiny community that can't have a good thing ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is.
It doesn't matter. Bungie, you can't make bounties fun to grind, man. It's not easy to make something that you need to get done easy to grind, and they can't make it something that just passively happens.
Well, I think if you just grab your bounties and just play the game, you'll complete the bounties. Now, if you focus in on it, yeah, it can be a grind and a struggle. But if you're just doing an activity because you're trying to, like I'll find myself, I want to do the Dares of Eternity. So I'll go, like right now we have the Dawning going on. So I'll go grab all the Eva Levante's bounties real quick. And then I'll grab all of Xur's bounties real quick. And any other bounties I could think of that'll actually progress while I'm there.
Here's what I think the issue is. There's a part of the community that, like, stuff comes up, man, or like they don't get to play that often, and so when one season's over, when the next season starts, they're still trying to catch up on, you know, rewards from activities and stuff that you could get from those previous seasons, because like there's still, you know, as far as like the actual seasonal activities, right? So all they do all the time anyways is focus on grinding bounties and stuff and grinding, you know, old activities so that they can, you know, they're trying to keep up, but it's hard for them to when they have, you know, the old stuff that they missed kind of calling to them. And I think the only way for Destiny to fix that is when one season launches, they need to drop all the activities from the previous season, because then all your community can do is just be like, damn, really sucks I didn't get to do that.
Right, yeah.
Instead of, like, you have this part of the community that wants to be argumentative about it. Like, Bungie just needs to make their call and be like, deal with it, man. And I agree. I think that's kind of what they're doing. They're just like, look, you guys don't need to hoard your bounties.
No, technically, no, you don't need to. I mean, like, just come on.
That's just what they're trying to say, because the whole point of hoarding the bounties is that so you can get like 20 season pass levels off of a full inventory, and then like a full day's worth of bounties. Like you can, or not like a full day's, but like your daily bounties from each vendor. Like you can get like 20 levels on the season pass out of that. And I
Right.
get that. Like I understand how that's appealing. But there's literally a man that gets his season pass done in a week.
Well, here, well, and also they've actually
Like,
dropped a number.
if you're really that focused on just trying to get ahead on getting the cool shit, then you just need to be motivated all the time to do it instead of just being motivated for the last 3 weeks of a season.
True. Now, but at the same time, like what people say, oh, the leveling is shit. It's like, well, now you only go up like what, 10, 20 levels or some shit. It's not like how it used to be where it was like 50 for a light level.
DLC. No, so with Witch Queen coming out, it's a major DLC, so it's like 50 or 100 it's gonna go up.
I didn't think that they raised it up that much.
No. So every season it goes up by 10, but every major DLC, so every year it goes up by like 50 or 100.
Really?
Yep.
Oh. Yay.
It goes up by a good amount, and so like I understand people like they want to hoard the bounties so that they can get all their free shit on the season pass that's gonna be higher level than what they're already winning.
Well, what's your opinion if you wanted to do like let's say like for newer players, because like I just brought somebody in my clan who quit way back in Forsaken and decided to come jump back in and start buying up all the DLCs and all the content and everything.
No, don't do it. Wait till
no.
major,
Hang on. Slow down. Hang on. You're not letting me ask my question. Okay. So my question would be is, since he started at such a low light level and we're having to increase, try to get up as high as possible. Well, they're so far behind. Maybe there could be some way that Bungie could basically give, XP boost, but it's like, maybe through the battle pass or some sort of way where it doesn't cost any money. Like okay, maybe you could buy it with bright dust or whatever materials, and you can only have like one every so often. Like you can't just like get a bunch of them.
I have an easier way to do it than that.
What's that? Let's hear it.
New light players, brand new accounts, or like even just like they did when Beyond Light dropped. Bring everybody's gear up to level and make that the minimum light level now. So every major DLC, they bring up the minimum light level to what the, powerful grinding cap is, or like the soft cap where you have to start grinding your powerful gear.
Uh-huh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
So if they just bring the minimum light level, so bring everything in the game up to like, what's the current max light level? Like 1360 or something?
Right.
So say they bring it up to 400. Say they bring, with Witch Queen, they bring the light level up to 400. Did I say, what did I say? I don't even know what the light level is. It's,
well, right now it's like the hard cap is, I think it's like 13 20 13 30, I believe.
1330.
I believe so. And I believe that's the, but you can still continue on after that because of your artifact.
Because of the artifact, but just purely gear level. So say the max on the gear stats, they take up to 1400, right?
Right.
Say the powerful, like the point where you have to start grinding powerful gear is 1300, right? So if they just make the minimum light level for every item and every character in the game 1300, a little bit longer server downtime, a little bit bigger update, and that's it. And then the seasons only go up by increments of 10. So every time a new DLC drops, you only have to grind, 100 levels, and then your 10 levels that get added on every season.
Right.
And if a new character comes in, instead of having to start at a super low, it's like what, 1,200 or something, or 1,100 we start at for brand new characters and like pulling stuff out of your vault.
Right. Yeah.
It's like 1,100 is the minimum. So
Yeah.
instead of starting at 1,100 and having to grind 200 levels, they just have to do that powerful gear and grind up that 100 levels every year.
Yeah. I mean, that could work. That could be one idea.
Because if you're a veteran player like you and I are, and you're at or pretty close to the cap, what the max cap is, then when the next DLC drops, the next big DLC, and they add another 50 or 100 light levels, we only have to grind that 50 or 100 instead of being a brand new person, and now we have to grind like 400 light levels before we're able to do in-game stuff.
Right.
And so, like, for your buddy that you were talking about that got back into the game and just bought all the DLCs and everything, that was a dumb choice on his part, man. No offense to anybody, but like that wasn't a smart choice. If he would have just waited till Witch Queen dropped and bought Witch Queen Deluxe Edition, he'd have all next year's content, and he wouldn't have spent $100-200 on all the old stuff that doesn't matter anymore.
Well, I don't think it's like $200. Last time I checked, it's like one is like $8, $9. I think you could get Beyond Light for like $10-15. It's like on sale right now or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you're not spending $100-200. I don't think. And Forsaken is for free at this point. So I mean,
you aren't getting them on sale, like. But he already paid for Forsaken. Like the last time he played was around Forsaken. I bet you he paid for Forsaken and then didn't play.
Sir Biggs, I see you in chat ignores live chat. You're full of shit. Welcome for those that are watching. Yeah, I think I seen him pop in and then he dips. He doesn't say nothing. So, but I see you. And welcome to everybody else. This is the LootCave. We talk Destiny and everything. Right now we're talking about the D.C.V. dispute that I'm seeing, and trying to get everybody's opinion. This just to give a quick flyover on what the show is. Right now, I got, my buddy Professor, it says diabetically mad, but his true name is Professor. And this is kind of like the setup, if, whenever you come into my Discord and you want to do call-ins, this is how I'm going to be doing call-ins. Earlier in the stream, we talked about that and, kind of gave the layout on how that works. So, if you like what you see, be sure to hit the like button for me so I know you're enjoying yourself. Feel free to hit up in the live chat, man. I'll interact. Yeah, I see you, Chris. Thank you. You've probably been here like most of the time too, huh? But yeah, so like I said, hit that like button. Let me know if you like. Hit the dislike button if you don't like. I don't really care. But this, I'm hoping that we can actually make a thing out of this, and and I'm trying to get it to where I can at least have 2 streams a week. So hit that notification bell, let me know, whenever I go live, you'll get the notification. And the link into my Discord is in the description, and it is fixed. I fixed it.
Is it functional now?
It's functional now. So, that being said, all right, now I'm going to let you have the floor. I figure I'd just say something real quick because we got like 3 people watching right now.
What's up, homies?
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead and continue.
It's I don't even remember what we were talking about, man. I'm gonna be real with you.
Light leveling. on how Bungie could maybe fix that, because
Okay.
we're saying that's kind of like the reason.
Yep, I remember now. Yeah, so the only way to really for them to make it easier for new people is just every time they have a major DLC, bring the minimum light level for the game up to the bottom of the powerful grind. So if the powerful grind, you know, if you're below 1300 at the start of like at the start of Witch Queen, if 300, like after that, to get up to 1400, you have to grind your powerful gear and do your weeklies and everything. Just make that the lowest light level you can be in the game, and it'll just be that much easier on new people.
Right.
Because like I said, then you've only got 100 light levels you have to grind instead of, you know, it's like 200 or 300 right now that you have to grind to get up to light level.
Now, would you say that, you know, like I hear a lot of power creep when it comes to the whole light leveling advantage. You know, every season we're having to level up, like we're just keep going up and up and up and up, and eventually we're going to be at like 3000 light level, and it's crazy. And I kind of wonder,
okay,
like,
no, so that and power creep are two different things. So that's not power creep, because it's just an arbitrary number that they're making bigger. They could reset us down to like on a scale of 10. Like they could take us down from like 0 to 100 light level, and like, you know, as our light level goes up, our damage doesn't like actually get better. It's just an arbitrary number in the game files.
right.
So it's
maybe
really
I'm just understanding it wrong, thinking that is like that's what they're talking about when they talk about power creep. You know, when it comes to light level going up and higher and higher.
What power creep is why they had to sunset weapons. They had to sunset Mountaintop and Recluse and 21% and Breakneck and all the old Pinnacle weapons. And they had to do that because all they were doing is they released Pinnacle weapons that had really powerful perks. And the only way to make new weapons that, you know, new Pinnacle weapons that people actually wanted to get was to just make better perks. And so that's what they kept doing. And so then you had guns that a limited percentage of people actually had access to, but were really, really powerful weapons. That was what the issue with Mountaintop and Recluse and 21% and Breakneck, and I can't remember the other one, the Vow. That's what the issue is.
Yeah.
That's all power creep is, and they're not doing that. I mean, they're adding some really cool perks to the game. I wouldn't necessarily. I think they found the sweet spot for perks in Destiny. They're fun perks, they're cool perks, they do cool things, but they're not super strong.
Right.
It doesn't become your gameplay, it just enhances your gameplay, you know?
Well, I would also like to see, you know, like I really like how they go with the mods, like with the Warmind cells. Oh man, that is such a great concept. And I really hope to see more of that, you know, things that, you know, react. I love explosions and shit, and I would love to see more of that, you know, different type of ideas that causes that kind of chain reaction shit. Oh man, I would love it.
Warmind cells get sunset.
Yeah. Well, they did get nerfed, so I mean,
I'm pretty sure eventually they're just gonna have to take them out of the game, because like they got nerfed, but they're still really good.
As far as I know, they're staying in the game, so I mean they're not like completely letting them go.
No, so it's a weird like sunset. So what they're doing, I remember because I read the thing on it, because this is when I still played Destiny regularly. What they're doing is they're making it where a new season's armor can use the mods from the season before and the next season. So it gets 3 seasons worth of mods. So all the new armor getting ready to come out isn't going to be able to use Warmind cells.
You don't think so?
I'm pretty sure
But those are in
the swabs that they did.
So what, they're revamping the armor again?
Not they're not really revamping it. They're just making it so, you know, you have that seasonal mod slot, and currently we can use like any mod from any season in that slot on any of our armor, you know?
Right.
And so they're changing it where, so like next season we'll be able to use the mods that came out, the armor that comes out next season, we'll be able to use the mods that came out this season and that season and the season after that one. And then the next one won't be able to use like this season's mods. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm trying to explain it really stupid.
No, I mean, yeah. I guess, I mean, for me, it would make more sense once I actually see it in hand. So, I mean, but yeah, I think I kind of follow the concept.
I'm pretty sure I read that in a TWAB. That's how they're doing it. Like, so the seasonal armors can only use certain seasonal mods, and it can't just, they can all use all of them. Just to cut back on.
But I figured that was like, that was the whole point of the artifact though, right? Because they added certain mods within the artifact that you put onto your armor pieces, but come the next season, that's all gone.
That's more specifically geared to like champions and being able to deal with champions.
Well,
that's really what your seasonal artifact, that's most of what your seasonal artifact is geared towards.
Because I could have swore I seen something. They're gonna make a change to that too. Like I think there it was going to be like a mod. I could be misremembering, so I don't want to be quoted. I think it's something that they're going to add that like to your weapons. They're going directly to your weapons.
It's either the unlocks go directly to your weapons, or I think it might have been a Reddit post that I read it on, so don't quote me on this. But I think I read somewhere where they're adding a new slot onto you, because like the anti-barrier is on your arms piece right now, you know?
Right, yeah.
And so what they're doing instead is they're making like a new mod slot that is specifically for
the champions.
Seasonal mods.
Well, I think that would make more sense if you did it that way. You gave an extra slot. Maybe not for all weapons, maybe for only certain weapons.
Well, no, because the anti-barrier, like all those still have prices with your armor associated to them, you know, they still use up a certain number of slots in your armor. So all they're doing is adding an extra spot. So like if on boots I wanted to run mods that like really go with each other, a seasonal mod and something else, then I can't use traction because I'm using up both of my slots, you know?
Right.
And so adding another slot purely for the seasonal mods, they're still going to cost slots in my armor, but then I can have traction. Traction's a 0 cost mod now.
Yeah, and amongst others, there are some other mods that don't cost you anything.
Like fastball on your arms. Like if you run a seasonal mod on your arms and then run like a reloader perk on your arms, you can't use fastball. And fastball's a zero cost perk, you know? So like it still has the cost associated with using the mod, but it gets its own slot, and I'm pretty sure that's how they're gonna do it.
That would be nice.
Because they already have the perks like programmed into the game as mods, right? So why would they just completely reprogram it to make it where it goes straight to your weapon? That's just a waste of resources. All they have to do is add an extra slot.
Sure.
Bungie's got big brain times, man.
Okay, so so from what I can gather, he commands the siege dancers from the Imperial Lands tank outside Rubicon. It's a jet. It's like what?
Up,
might be in the wrong live stream there. I don't know.
Well, let me pull up your stream so I can look at the chat.
Yeah, it's like, what? Oh, has nothing to do with what we're talking about. It might be in the wrong stream. I don't know.
What is that from? God, I know that, but I can't even think of what that's from, man.
It's got to be like some anime shit, isn't it?
No. Oh, God.
Okay, so this must be like a test or something. I don't know. Is it Warhammer? It sounds like Warhammer. Imperial Land Tank Siege. That sounds right. I'm probably wrong though. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Yeah, I think you got it right. It said, I'm glad someone finally remembers. So it must be from Warhammer. I am freaking clueless to that, but
oh no, strike from D1. I wouldn't know anything about it.
Oh wow,
that does make sense. Imperial Land Tank. Yeah, that makes more sense. I'm sorry, friend. I didn't play D1. I have.
Man, that's a hell of a memory. Unless if you just played that today. That's crazy. Oh man. But welcome to the LootCave, and I hope you're enjoying yourself. And just as a reminder, link for my Discord is in the description. So, and I know it works. I made sure of it. That's kind of funny though. Something all the way back from D1. Oh my god.
Man, don't talk to me about how I thought the Cabal and Mars meant Warhammer, okay, man?
It literally says Cabal.
Don't talk about it, man.
Hey, you know, you said it.
Dude, I'm too stoned, man. I don't have a anything at this point, man.
Oh shit!
I've been sitting here chatting with you, hitting this bowl.
We're talking Destiny.
It's Zoink Scoob right now, man.
That's all good. It's all good.
But
this has actually turned out to be a really good stream. I'm actually very happy with it. You know, got a couple of the homies in. You know, they're chatting it up.
Yeah, man. Pretty sweet.
Yeah. Now if we could just get this on a regular basis, I guess if I was on a stream on a regular basis, that would help.
Yeah, that.
Hey, I figured, you know, to tell you the truth, I'm almost to 30 videos, so I'm actually, you know, pretty excited about that.
6 days ago, 8 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Hey.
So it's like, okay, but I'm just looking at it, and it says like, you know, like you have spurts where you'll do several, and then you have times where it just dies down. And you don't.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be changes. So
it seems pretty regular-ish. But I mean, there's some gaps. It's not nothing too crazy bad though.
Well, I'm actually starting to kind of get in a roll on things too, so I wanted to put out more more streams. And it looks like our buddy is if you play D2, you should at least know the Cabal is Destiny, not Warhammer.
Listen, guy. Listen, guy.
Oh man. At least we're keeping it classy.
I don't like how you're coming at me personally for not knowing.
He's over here like, I feel like I'm personally being attacked.
He is personally attacking me, okay?
And it's live on stream. Oh man, we're going to be able to look back on this. Woo.
Yeah, you'll be able to. I'll be able to pull this moment up at my wedding. And remember,
I mean, I can't say nothing because that whole quote like went way over my head. I didn't even think of that, but yeah. I mean, it sounded like something like that had to do with Destiny, but I guess I just never heard that or anything, so it's my bad. Now I know.
Yeah, man, I don't.
Or it could be something about lore. It could be a lore. No, well, kinda, because he also said it was something about the strike.
Yeah, something about the strike, but again,
I'm being attacked. I beat everything on D1. I think you mean insulted.
My friend, I'm sorry. From what my D1 vet friends tell me, D1 is a lot grindier than D2, and the grind on D2 gets tiring real quick for me. So.
Oh yeah, I feel it. I feel it.
I think it has a lot to do with the people I play with. You know, I get groups that I love to play with, and then those groups just like fall apart for a little bit, and then I don't like playing.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, I thought you were like a lore nut anyways, right?
I know, listen, man, I know some stuff. I can't recall any of that stuff right now, but I know some stuff.
He's like, it's late, I worked all day or whatever. It's like, I can't remember that shit.
I did work today. I worked 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Hell yeah. There you go. When you gonna get your Wi-Fi turned back on so that we can play a little Destiny together?
When I do that anti-fraud thing that I was telling you about.
Oh yeah, because you're trying to steal shit. That's right.
I'm not trying to steal, man. My old roommate was trying to steal the internet, and they think it's me, so I have to go prove that it's me and not him.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
You'd think, you know, like my ID and my social security number and everything would prove that I'm a different person, but no, I have to go do their anti-fraud thing. So stupid.
I don't know if Shinra is still here, but I would like to get your insight. If I'm sorry if I just butchered your name, but what would be your thoughts on the D.C.V. if you're still here? And while I wait for that response, let's should I continue down the rabbit hole of this whole bounty? I think we kind of got the gist of it though. Like,
I mean, it's a lot of the arguments in Destiny are kind of just a never-ending cycle. There's always going to be people that are going to be salty about parts of Destiny, man. It's just how it is. It's just how gamers are nowadays, man.
Well, you can't make everybody happy. I know that, but I guess you have to kind of think of which direction is Bungie taking Destiny to coin towards. Is it the hardcore players or the casuals or the free players that just want to play the game for free and want everything handed to them or something? Like, we'll keep those like in two separate categories to be fair. You know, the free to play and then those who want everything given to them. So we'll just keep those two separate. Did I lose you? Uh-oh. It has begun again. I'm alone. You may have to leave and come back there, bub. If you can still hear me. I don't even know if you can still hear me. Oh, there. Yep, there we go. Maybe it's a time. Maybe like they time you out after so long. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe
I wonder if maybe it's on a time. Like you're on a timer. You can only speak for so long. I don't know.
That's weird. But
I mean, you've been here for a good minute, so I mean, I don't know.
If it is a timer, it's a long timer. But I think part of the issue with Destiny is Bungie hasn't decided what part of their player base they're trying to cater to. They're trying to cater to all of their player base, and it's just turning around to bite them, really.
Right.
It's not going well for them. And so I think they just need to choose which, like, one or two parts of their player base they're trying to really cater to and make their money off of,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of stick to it. But
Yeah.
again, like I said, there's just always gonna be people that are salty about stuff with Destiny.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. But I think it's kind of interesting to go down the whole rabbit hole of how people think and people's opinions on certain aspects. But
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is. Hell, as far like sometimes there's people that I know that I've spoken to, they don't even have a freaking clue that there's people out there that's like that. It's like, I swear, if you never played Destiny and you go on Twitter and you try to like look up information about it and you fall into one of these rabbit holes, you'll think Destiny is a dead game and Bungie is trying to steal your money. I mean, Jesus Christ.
That's kind of
is that a topic for another day?
Maybe. That's kind of their prerogative as a company, though, is to make money.
Well, of course. I mean, you can't expect that this is going to be a free thing. I mean,
that's like saying like Amazon is trying to steal your money. Like, obviously they're trying to get your money. That's the whole point of them existing, is to make money.
well, yeah, as a business, but there's those who are like developing the game, those who are, basically the worker bees who, they put their love and passion into the game, but they also get thrown in with everybody else to actually make the decisions around them, and I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair that people, just, if you want to criticize somebody, criticize those who make the decisions. Those who actually make the final decisions, call them out, not to just all of Destiny or all of Bungie, I should say.
The way I see it is people are they're getting upset as a business running like a business. No business, if you see all the decisions that all these huge businesses make, corporations and BS, all the decisions and stuff they make, and like, you're not gonna like all those decisions. There's no way you're gonna agree with every decision that they make in a company.
Just take your own job, for example. Do you agree with everything that they make? All the decisions that they make? It's like, no.
You're never gonna 100% agree with everything. And I think there's just a lot of people in the community now that aren't willing to just take the L for once. And,
I think it's just, well, I noticed that when it comes to like times like these, when Destiny is on its downtrend, right, before the next DLC, next season or whatever, you get a bunch of these people that just dogpile, and on like the most minute subject, like the whole slide nerf, like everybody dogpiled on that one itty bitty spot in that TWAB, and now it's bounties. Like everybody, like, they're confused, they don't understand what bounties can they hoard, like there needs to be clarifications, and I'm just like
I said, man, the only people trying to hoard the bounties are the people that are just trying to hoard bounty. Like, the people that are asking those questions are the people that are hoarding bounties, trying to get a leg up in the next season. And I think Bungie's making the right call with it, just taking all of them and being like, look, if you don't turn them in, they're getting taken away. I think that's a good call on their part, because you don't, as a game developer, if you make a season and that season is supposed to, all the content in that season is supposed to last you 4 months, there
shouldn't be any reason like you need to rush through it. It's like people don't want to take their time.
As somebody that's like creating a game, you don't want 3 months worth of content to be done with in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then everybody's like, oh, I ain't got
And then
nothing to
everybody
do.
just that's when everybody just complains and is like, oh, the season is dead, there's nothing to do, da 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 da. And that's when the season dies.
Yeah.
And so I think they're taking the right move and just being like, look, you can't hoard bounties anymore.
No. I mean,
I
we'll
think
see
that's-
the end result, I'm sure, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be as bad as people try to make it out to be. You know, people just thrive on negativity anymore, and it's like it's exhausting sometimes, you know. But anyways, I think we're going in an hour and a half. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I do appreciate. I do. Yeah. Well, I do appreciate you coming into speaking with me, Professor. It's been, you know, a pleasure. And to everybody else that has shown up and, you know, commented in my chat, and if you hit the like button, you know, everything, subscribe as well. Thank you for, you know, being here. And I'll definitely have another stream this week. Hopefully, if I don't end up doing one tomorrow, I'll definitely do one Thursday. So I figure if I can at least do one on Tuesdays and maybe Thursdays, and, you know, try to get a little bit of a set schedule. But I like to do it every single night, but we'll have to wait and see. But typically, the LootCave podcast live on YouTube definitely is a night stream, so this is about roughly the ideal time. Usually I try to start somewhere between 9 and 9:30. Unfortunately tonight I was a little bit late, so but anyways, I want to call it a good night, and until next time, y'all stay classy.